Okay, we're going to do 3 minutes on everything you wanted to know about injuries, how they work in the game, why we design the system the way we do, what's the chance of an injury, how does it affect a player's level, and what can I do about injuries as a coach. So if you're new to the game, be aware that a check is made in every single play for every single player. So the more a player plays in a game, the more chance he has of being injured. But when a player is injured, he plays on without effect until the end of the game, and the injury doesn't take effect until the following game. Why do we do it that way? Well, imagine for one moment you're trying to model the implications of an injury in any particular player. Let's take your quarterback. You lose your quarterback. Do you replace him? Well, depends on the type of injury. Depends on the level of your reserve. Depends if you've got a reserve. If your QSTs have changed, well, now that affects the way your entire team works. So you can see by the time you think about it for a little moment, the complexity just escalates horrendously, which is why we just don't think it's worthwhile implementing anything other than the simple method that we use, which is that an injury stacks up then until the following game. So what's the chance of an injury? I'll let you read this at your leisure, but be aware that the ball carrier and the tackler have a slightly higher chance of being injured, that your head athletic trainer, depending on his I value, makes a difference, that later in the game injuries get more a higher propensity to happen, and tired players, particularly high fatigue, but tired players particularly have a much greater chance of getting injured, and there is a slight adjustment for the injury on the chance of an injury based on the position on the field. So how does it affect a player level? Well, you get injuries B, C, D, E, F, and G. Each one counts at a particular number of levels, so B is 1 and C is 2 and D is 3. If you've got multiple injuries, be aware that B plus C equals D. So if you've got an injury of a B and an injury of a C, that equals the cumulative effect of a D. The other thing that people have asked is when do you apply the reduction? Well, let me show you the code. This is the key line of the code. The game impact on the level is based on the percentage loss multiplied by the original level of the player. So this is the level of the player before any other modifier. So let's say the player goes into the game at level 10. He has a B injury, which is 10%. He will lose 10% of 10. He will not lose 10% of any modified level. So that's the way that injuries are lost in the game. How do I affect injuries as a coach? Well, I'll leave you to look at that list. Just if you've got your starters on, you think about using your game over, because by the end of the game, if the game is all over, then get them off the field. Do protect your QB, because a QB's chance of being injured is very, very related to sacks. And otherwise, I'll let you look at that list, and a very happy Christmas to you all.